Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we are playing on the Demon Hunter and we are playing a critical damage build using his first weapon. We are going to be using the Bloodbane's crossbow, but we're only going to be using Madness Shot. Now there's nothing really special about the skill. As you can see, it says causes enemies afflicted by Disarray to explode. The explode damage is the same as the tooltip damage, 1 to 420, and it also deals damage to enemies and applies Disarray to them with the chance of, it actually has a 50% chance of applying the Disarray. It actually shows that when you're in the game. But anyway, the point is it deals damage, double damage to enemies around it. You know, it's going to hit an enemy, explode, and then hit another enemy. So the actual Madness Shot can deal damage, and then the explosion can deal damage to enemies around the initial target. So with that in mind, and doing the Void King and things like that, we actually need to get the Colossal upgrade, which we'll get as the 4th Titan. But before then, we got Reroll Mastery, Endless Refill, and Skill Mastery Projectile Shoot. And then we've got Advanced Tactics, Savage Pact, Critical Mastery, as well as Divine Legacy. So we're going to go and grab it. This is not a high sigil fight or a high sigil build, unfortunately. Nothing like the 6 dinos, but it's still going to be a really fun little build. We do use double buffs, so that's going to be really good as well. Starting off with Mhyzahet and the Exposed on hit, we grab Shattered on hit, and we go from there. We do need quite a few things if you want to try and push this to a higher level. Grabbing yourself things like Aptitude on hit is going to be good. That's for increased critical strike chance. We can grab 1 or 2 form upgrades from Mhyzahet as well to get the critical strike chance. And just things like that, all of that makes a big difference. We're going to go and grab that cast frequency first. Now, when we get to banishing things, we'll speak about that and what it is that we're looking to banish. With regards to skills, we are taking the projectile skills. So we're taking Frag Shot, Spread Shot, and Shoot. And then for our Chaos skills, we're going for Bloodlust and then the Chaotic Surge, or whatever it was called. I think it's called Chaos Surge. And those are the 2 buffs. The one gives us critical strike damage, and the other gives us cast frequency and movement speed. And then we actually do have to focus on our... Okay, so armor, we can banish. We're on 165. That's perfectly fine. We don't need more. We're going to take the movement speed over here. Or even Merciless is really good since we are a critical strike damage build. But in the beginning, movement speed and magnetic are very strong. So we'll take the magnetic over here. We don't need block, we're already in a positive, so we don't really need to worry about that. If we are getting hit, we're doing things wrong. Critical strike chance is needed. We need at least over 100% even before we get form. And then we've got twin impact. Oh, right. Okay, so we might not actually use frag shot then. Okay, we do take twin impact because it gives us the fragility as well as aptitude. Perfect. Some movement speed, and let's go from there. I keep forgetting about Twin Impact, but yeah, we need Twin Impact in the build. And then we'll probably go Spread Shot instead of Frag Shot. And then one of the most important things about the build is actually using our Ascension. So what we are going to grab is cooldown reduction on the Ascension, and that's going to allow us to get multiple of them up in a single run, including boss fights. If the boss fights take long enough, you can get 1 or 2 of them up really quickly. And you're going to have a lot more damage and a lot more critical damage from that as well. So that's the original plan. That's what we're looking to do. We finally get Madness Shot, which is our main skill. And we're going to go and remove the multicast chance because every 25 levels, we are going to get the legendary multicast chance, or, you know, have a chance to get the legendary multicast chance. So we don't need to have it now. All right, there's Shoot, 0.4 second cooldown. Grab more magnetic, there's Bloodlust, Twin Impact, a Swift is very good. We don't need the powerful strikes either, we can remove it. We're going to go for Swift and go from there. Another thing we do need is we need at least 500 health because we do need that 40% increased critical strike damage. So we do need to grab ourselves as much health as possible on the run as well. If you don't want to really worry about the Ascension, you don't need it. I just think it's that extra little bit of power for the skill, so I enjoy taking it. But it isn't 100% necessary, but if you like big critical strike damage numbers, it's definitely one to grab. We are missing our other skill though. There we go, Chaotic Surge. So what is it that we don't need? See, that gives Aptitude and so... Okay, so we don't need Frag Shot. And then we probably actually don't need Shoot either. Because we run Twin Impact. Oh! No, we do. Sorry, I completely forgot we had Uncontrolled Chaos there. Alright, never mind. I don't know what I was thinking over there. Alright, there we go. Perfect. I was like, hang on, something doesn't seem right over here. And then as you can see, we got 3 Chaos, 3 Projectile. Last time I practiced this to make sure it was working correctly for everyone. Every single time I got Projectile to Chaos upgrades, I didn't get the Chaos to Projectile. I don't know if that's because 2 of the Chaos skills are buffs or permanent, or if the game sees tags that way. I have no idea, but when I was doing it, I never got a single Chaos to Projectile upgrade. This time it could be different. Maybe it was just a luck thing, but we won't know. We do not need Expansive because we are going to be grabbing Colossal to... Brittle to Colossal, the whole reason we get the Advanced Tactics. So we get remove that. We can grab ourselves a Disarray on hit. And we do need Spread Shot. There we go. Thank you very much. So Spread Shot instead of Frag Shot. It's literally just because of the cooldown. So if you have a look over there, 0.5 seconds. And then it's 2 and 4%. Where this gives us more Aptitude. But we're going to be going with... this has 4 times lower the cooldown at the moment. So a much better skill to be using for us. Okay, so this is the setup. Pretty easy to get, as you can see. Much harder to get when you're at a higher difficulty because you will not have the levels that we've currently had. We can skip active skills here. I'm going to take the Relentless for now. Actually, no. Potency is much... How much cast frequency will this get? Wait, let's lock this. Because we have quite a lot. And let's see, yeah, it's on 44. If we take that, it goes up to 56. So the epic upgrade is actually worth more than a potency upgrade to that upgrade. Okay, good. So at least we kept that. We don't need Leviathan, so we're just going to banish it. We're going to grab Relentless. There we go, Projectile to Chaos, like I mentioned. And we'll take the Multicast chance. And the potency. Perfect. We do not need Demonic Blessing, so I am going to remove it. We're not worried about the damage of the demonic creatures. We're only worried about spawning it quicker, as well as getting the plus 2.5% damage modifier increase as well. So there is a buff, a rare buff that you can get that increases the damage that you do when you spawn them. That is one of the upgrades you want to grab. And then some other things like that. We've already got 3 summoned. I'm not going to worry about it. We're close to the end. We need to just get over and defeat Mhyzahet so we can keep moving forward. These are choices you can make. So you can spend that extra couple of seconds spawning your demonic creature. Or you can feel like, okay, I've got enough critical damage right now. Let's move forward and go from there. It really just depends on how you feel about yourself and your damage at the moment. Alright, so here's a good... we got an objective spawn on the actual area, so we can just stay here. We can see this guy over there, so we're just going to go and throw these at him. And it will eventually get destroyed. There we go. And we got our 4th demonic creature. Again, you can only have a max of 6 of them, and they do only last for a specific amount of time as well, or they can be defeated. So... you do have to just be wary of that. Okay, lots of upgrades over here. We got damage for that, potency there, another Projectile to Chaos skill chain. Beautiful. Ow. Try and not take damage. It's really not necessary. And there we go. Those tornadoes should despawn immediately, but they don't. Alright, some life. Still take magnetics. We can go more life here. Aptitude to prowess. We do not need bleed damage. We're going to just ignore this for now because, sometimes it's fine to keep. And over here, I think the critical strike chance is more important than that 30% cast frequency. I mean, the potency for right now. It will come in handy. Everything is quite low cast frequency regardless, so it's fine. But we want as much as possible eventually. Alright, so that one is done and dusted. Don't even need to reroll. We get the exposed on hit as necessary. We then move over to Aruanak. As you know, we are using a Disarray skill, so that gives us a free Disarray to Disorientated. Fantastic.
It's time to hunt the Great Void. Progress made. Titan blood.
Okay, so in the beginning you do less critical damage just because you don't have any of your Ascension up. We do need more cast frequency for everything, so just grab it. We're not going to grab durations, so we can re-roll that. We can grab damage boost for chaos skills. That's going to increase our main skill damage, increase bloodlust and chaotic surge's damage as well, or potency essentially. So very, very good. And we still do direct damage, even though the direct damage is randomized, or however you want to call it. And we can't really move forward. He should come to us anyway, so we should be fine. There we go. We can move to you now. He was meeting us halfway. And more cast frequency. Again, don't need the damage. We can go for potency upgrades. At least 100% magnetic is going to be good, but we need more life. And over here we want the skill chain, but we also want the damage. So that is beautiful. There we go. Damage, skill chain, potencies are very, very good. Let's go for some merciless damage. The damage can go up really, really high, so we do want that. I mean, I say really, really high. It's not actually that high. But somehow it works. This isn't a one and done skill does everything. You'll see spread shot's going to land up with a really high DPS number by the end of this as well. So there we can grab the frequency, one more or two more magnetics, and we can actually banish it. And over here we're just doing an objective while grabbing a sneaky demonic creature. What I do like is they always spawn near where your character is, so there's always a chance while you're doing objectives that they're going to spawn at your feet, and you can do the objective at the same time as doing the demonic creature. The only time it's really bad is when it spawns and you land up having to be, or it spawns outside of the circle or whatever the case is there, but that hardly happens. Or like as you finish the objective it spawns, and then you have to move to the next objective and you've got that the actual demonic creature in the wrong spot. Okay, cast frequency.
The pieces fall into place.
So a lot of the time you don't actually need the full cast frequency for these skills. There was a bad timing for the ritual to get our third demonic creature. That's like the best example of the worst thing that can happen. So the one thing is, and this has been a discussion with me and someone else on the other video that we did with the Legionnaire when we had Shield Wall. You don't necessarily need to worry about cast frequency for these skills when you've got the skill chain, because skill chain will give you those skills a lot of the time. So what's going to happen is you're going to skill chain projectile into other skills, because we have 3 projectile skills. And if you get to 100% skill chain, each projectile skill is going to 100% chance to skill chain. Therefore, there's going to be a really hard chance that they're going to skill chain into these buffs, making them constantly occur. So like here, we don't need a cast frequency anymore, so we can actually banish it. And we don't need we need a little bit of cast frequency here, but because of skill chain, we probably don't have to worry about it. But we'll grab it just in case. I don't think we have to invest that much cast frequency into it. There you go. And here is skill chain. We got multicast, skill chain, and damage. Beautiful. So let's grab them. We've got lots of locks, and that's going to help us. Beautiful. Disarray to Disoriented. We could go, if you don't have Brittle, you can go Aptitude to Slow, Slow to Brittle, Brittle to, but it's just a roundabout way. Whereas here, we just take a single 2-cast Ruin, and we've already got the Brittle that we need. Let's go for, because we don't need Shattered yet, so let's grab the Aptitude stacking first. Or we could have gone Mhyzahet for form, actually, because we're not even at 100% critical strike chance yet. We're only on 56%. Doesn't help having all of this critical damage that you can see, and you can't do enough damage with it. Also, I don't know why I have damage numbers on. I guess I had them on because I was trying to work out how the skill worked. Alright, there we go. No more damage numbers. You guys can let me know if you like having or seeing the numbers or not. Alright, this is one of those times where I think our Ascension is going to pop up, and we're going to have to grab it. There we go. This is one of the passives we're looking for, Demonic Blessing, where increase the damage for each demonic creature active. That gives you 2.5, so we go to 10.5. Obviously, there is what's the wording I'm looking for? There is an integer issue, or it doesn't. It always rounds it up or down. In this case, it looks like it rounded it down, but that's not really that much of an issue. What's going to happen is, as soon as we get the next 2.5 one, I believe it will go to 15% or 13%. I don't actually know. We'll see. If it goes to 12% instead, then we know, okay, those integers are not working properly, and it maybe needs to be looked at. Because 0.5 and 0.5 should make a 1, regardless. Okay, we get ourselves some free XP there. Beautiful. Okay, grab these. What am I looking for? We still need critical strike chance. This potency is very important because it gives us critical damage. It went from 95 to 110. Disarrays are also really nice to grab. You can grab as many as you like to increase that extra damage. The extra damage goes up higher than the reverse damage goes down lower, if that makes sense. So you can grab as much Disarrays as you want. You get to like a negative 10% by the time you... I think the amount of extra damage you get for it outweighs the negative damage that you can apply. So in my opinion, it's just great to grab. I don't know why we get single... this is so irritating when this happens, but anyway. So many things we need to focus on for this build. We still need more life. We still need more critical strike chance. And after this, we do have to do Midorahk, because we need the area of effect for the Void King. So you can do the Void King without the area of effect, but it takes much longer. And it just makes the fight more tedious. So it's not that it's a difficult fight. It's really easy. But it's just they hit or get hit much harder when there is that much AoE going on. And I'll show you with what it looks like with the AoE, so you can be like, okay, I fully understand why you go for AoE now. Visually, it sucks because we have to turn the visuals down. But in terms of, what it does for the actual build, it makes 100% sense. You definitely want to grab it. Okay, what is this? 0.3. We need more movement speed. We need more potency and frequency on the demonic blessings. I haven't triple checked or double checked the amount of frequency you want on your demonic embrace, but you can. I mean your demonic blessing. But I think the lowdown is go for as much as humanly possible. Do we get a skill chain? No, we don't. Do you know what? We'll take one area this time and take the damage. And remember, like I mentioned, the damage is going to increase the potency of double buffs. So as long as they're physical, or they meet the standard of the legendary power, we're in a good spot. Where is this boss? What are you doing there?
The hunt sharpens with every piece claimed.
Another good example, we're on 2,572 critical damage. I just want to show you how much critical damage we get once we lose all of our buffs and everything like that, just so you get an understanding of just how powerful our Ascension actually is. So it was 2.5 that we were on. It's already dropped down to 1,500 less. And then when we lose all of the Aptitude, we're sitting on 590. So we literally nearly got 2,000 odd additional critical damage. And that's without... Actually, did we even have 1,000 stacks of Aptitude? I don't know. Do we get 1,000 stacks yet? No, we don't. So we can grab one, or this power up is going to help. So there we go. Every time you apply Aptitude, you have a chance to multiply the quantity of the stack. So that's what we wanted over here. Max health and damage is actually really good here as well. But that's exactly what we wanted. That should allow us to get to the 1,000 critical damage mark. And now we do have to do Midorahk and get ourselves brittle to Colossal because of the Void King. This is the best time to do a area like this is when you have a lot of magnetics. That gives you the most amount of XP possible. And you also don't have to run as far. I do need more movement speed though, so let's just work on that. Damage, reinforced damage, that's perfect. Damage over there. We don't need the cast frequency anymore. We can actually banish it. That's fun to get cast frequency on. Disarray is fun. Let's reroll. Potencies are good here, but I want the rare lethality. Potency, Disarray, multicast on there. Reinforced damage again, beautiful. We grab the damage increase and the projectile to chaos. Like I mentioned, we haven't seen the other version at all, even though it is there. So it's very, very weird. I don't know why you don't get it as an option. But like I mentioned, it is the possibility that it's because we've got 2 buffs and therefore the game doesn't consider you. I don't think because their duration is so high, they're not counting towards like a skill chain ability. I don't believe you can skill chain from a skill that has a really high cooldown into another skill. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to work out properly. But there we go. Let's see how much Aptitude we now get. We're on about 700. So that gives us 2,100 critical strike chance, or damage, sorry. And that's without our Ascension up. So now we need to pop the Ascension a couple of times. Also, we still got more of our Savage Pact bonus that we can get as well. So there is that as well that we need to look at. But we've definitely started to hit the point where we are doing nice amounts of damage. The only other thing I don't really like is how long or how many souls you need to collect for this. It takes a really long time, even though we are defeating hundreds of enemies every second. But there we go. 2-4. Another Swift, Lethality, and then Horrific Presence. And once we get Area of Effect from Midorahk here, we are going to be so clean. And then there's a lot of things we need. We need a lot of Mhyzahet, actually. I shouldn't have taken the Loot Goblin yet, actually. It would have been good to have it as a double Mhyzahet bonus instead. Didn't see the spawn till now. Grab the health. Actually, what is our max health at? 460. Okay, there we go. We are now at 2,600. I think the plan is to get to about 4,000 critical strike damage bonus, if possible.
The hunt sharpens with every piece claimed.
No, why did the game have to give me ones? Why do we have to have ones on our screen? Okay, we're actually going to forget about it because it's taking too much time. And then as we forgot about it, it actually completed the objective. But we're going to... Oh, I'm so clever. Alright. So, chaotic boost. That's just for the spread shot and that. We don't need it. We still need more critical strike chance. We're only on 100%. Critical damage from merciless upgrades. You can grab as many of those as you want. I mean, you can see we're on 156% increased critical strike damage, which is fantastic. If I don't mind saying myself. And this is where we're going to turn the visuals down. It's a little bit unfortunate, but oh, we could go Radiance eventually. We will grab that. We do have Fragility already, but hey, who doesn't mind getting that little bit extra? We've got Disoriented. We're going to go Colossal to Dazed. There's a whole lot of goodies we can grab. I don't know. This will give us multicast chance. That's actually one we can grab as well. So we're going to teleport here. We'll do like a couple more rounds. We'll grab Form from Mhyzahet. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're going to grab 100% critical strike chance from the Void King or the Corrupted Void Hunter now as well to increase the amount of critical strike chance we have. We got 4 dashes already. I don't think we need an extra one. We can probably just find another epic upgrade anyway for dash. It's not that hard to find swifts. But the most important thing is for us to get that 100% critical strike chance, because obviously it makes our damage more. And this is why we turn down the visuals, as you can see. But this is why we get the area of effect as well, because it's going to make the explosion. As soon as you hit one enemy, you double dipping into the explosion. So as long as there's enemies around, anything else on the screen is going to be hit with the explosion, and therefore you're dealing damage to next to nearly everything because of it. So there you go. That's why we do it. We are going to turn down the visuals, of course, so that we don't have to worry about these freaking explosions all over the place. But yeah, as you can see, much easier to defeat things, even doing the bosses over here, the Corrupted Void or the Shadow Void Lords. And you can also see even our Blessing, just absolutely doesn't matter where the enemy is spawned, they're just being destroyed on the screen. Alright. So we got a couple of locks again. Don't need the area. We can actually banish area now. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Grab these. Even more lethality. And merciless. So now we don't really need anything. Our focus is going to be on grabbing the damage increases and the skill chain, as well as just grabbing multicast from legendaries. And then when we don't have a legendary up, we're going to just grab merciless and lethality for the increased crit and then crit damage. So that's pretty much what we focus on. Health, we still need the right amount. Projectile to chaos. Again, a bit weird that we haven't seen any of the opposite. Lethality. You can go quicker, again, if you don't really worry about this, but getting 3000 critical strike damage is always beautiful to have. Okay, there we go. We don't need more life, but obviously grabbing it does make things better. And now we just need to go and get as many...
No turning back.
Well, now we get 100% critical strike chance, so we'll be on 200+%, which means that we double the amount of critical damage that we do to enemies whenever we crit, because that's the way critical damage works. And this is the whole reason we want Area of Effect. It's not actually for the Arcane Weaver, it is for the Void King. So what's going to happen is the Void King is going to stay over here, and when there's enemies near him, he takes the explosion damage, and then he also takes the damage from the skill itself. So it definitely makes a big difference. I've tried this with other ideas, and we didn't use the Colossal because I was like, no, I like having the visuals on. We can grab a couple of Area of Effect upgrades from our legendaries, and go from there. But it really doesn't feel like, by the time I got to the same spot using without using the brittle to colossal, we actually had 3 of our ascension, 3 of these guys up already. That's how slow we were compared to this. I mean, over here as well, we can literally just chill here. We can summon one of our ascensions, and we're in a really good spot. So there you go. One of them is up. They do what they need to do, and we can just chill at the back as long as we're hitting enemies. You can see we're focusing in front of us, and everything behind us is being damaged. So wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, we never really went past the Void King, so I actually don't know what's good to go for here. We can go damage, cast frequency, and multicast actually, maybe. Because we don't need Disoriented. We got Disoriented, Disoriented. We've got a lot of fragility already from this, so we don't need fragility. What does swiftness do again? Increase your cast frequency. We could do swiftness, but it's only a 5% chance. Wound isn't really effective here because it's just Disarray, so it's really whatever. So over here we'll take Presence of the Dark Lord for the upgrades. And then now we're going to go grab a form from Mhyzahet so we can see what happens. And just do 1 or 2 more. So we'll grab form on hit from Mhyzahet. It says it's going to take us to 20 minutes. If you take a look, there's been a time when I've mentioned that the clock bugs out. So we'll see what happens there. 0.2 on our 2 shoot skills. This is only 0.7, but that damage is noticeably much higher. So we don't actually need Twin Impact because you can go Fragility from the Void King, but then you don't have the Fragility the entire round. But definitely big changes. The critical strike chance definitely made a big difference. You can feel we haven't even summoned one of our Ascensions yet. There we go, we just got one now. So we need to work on that critical strike damage. And we practically at cap for Aptitude as well, so we don't need more. Alright, we'll just grab those upgrades. I think over here, skill chain and damage are probably the best. We don't have that many. There we go, that's perfect. Damage, skill chain, that damage good, frequency and some more cast frequency is good. 311 cast frequency from Bloodlust. It makes a big difference as you keep going. I don't know why it said 20 minutes. That took us like no time. Movement speed's good. Potency. Damage increase. Potency. Skill chain. We're nearly at how much skill chain actually? 98%. We've only received 1 aptitude to prowess, which is really bad. I would have thought we would have more. Okay, this is the hardest boss for us to deal with, but it is what it is. There we go. Disarray. We want to grab the... Oh, maybe we go Colossal to Dazed instead. We don't have any Dazed in the build, actually. That's massive. Okay, good. There we go. So we'll grab that. And now we're going to grab Midorahk for the... Actually, we'll go Fadeum for the multicast chance. And then we'll see what the time is at. But I think... I mean, you get the point. You can keep going and just grab things that you don't have already. In our case... It's going to be Fadeum for the multicast chance. You can then grab yourself the Midorahk for the exposed to radiance, just because that's a huge amount of extra damage for free. And then you can grab a whole lot of other things as well. You can grab the forms from Mhyzahet because we don't have a lot of critical strike chance. But I mean, sitting at 232%, you don't need that much. What I do want to do is before we do the final objective here, I want to just grab ourselves. I need more. I need more. We're not finding them. I need more of our ascension bonuses. We need more frequency. Because it's not showing up soon enough. Okay, we got a lot of rerolls. Every time I see potency, we'll take it. But we're looking for those upgrades. Doesn't help how many levels we have. We're not finding what we want. I just need to remember we do not want to finish the objective. Otherwise, we're going to have to go one more round. Multicast. Yes, potencies again. I mean, this potency is fine to get because it does give us critical strike damage. But we want to try and get as much critical damage as possible and see how much we can actually have. So our aptitude is over 1,000. We're now sitting at 3,300. I would like to grab as much as humanly possible. So that's why I'm looking for the cast frequency. We do get more damages over here, and we do get the skill chain, so that's good. Increased damage. So we're at 100% skill chain, which means that these are permanently up. You can see their green bars do not go down. We do have another demonic blessing over here, which is perfect. That will be 3 of them, which should put us around 4,000. 3,700. We still got 3 more that we can summon, so we're just going to chill. We've only got 1 more objective, but like I mentioned, we want to try and hit that amount and see. We do need more of them to spawn faster though, so let's just re-roll and see if we can get any of their upgrades. It is green, so it does help, you know, when you're re-rolling to just look for the green. Not finding it, unfortunately, so that is bad. The fact that it's taking us this long to find something like that is crazy. There we go, we've got another one spawn. Actually, we can take note of how long it takes to spawn them. So as soon as this one finishes, it's 48. So let's see how long it takes to spawn another one. So 48 seconds. Does it not give us a time? It's about 15 seconds or so. We're on 4,200 critical strike chance. I mean critical strike damage. Gone up to 4,500. 1 more. And we're at the max capacity. We can't get any more from that regardless of what happens. They don't last forever either. So this will be the final one. Hopefully the first one we summoned lasts long enough. And there we have it. So that is the most critical strike damage that we can get over there. We are on 5,000 critical strike damage. Beautiful. It is exactly what we were looking for. And now we can go and defeat Fadum. So they're quite insane, quite fun to play with. And I think it's really, really cool that that's possible. Hitting 5,000 critical strike damage. And remember, there's also still Disorientated and other things that get taken into play here as well. So really, really cool little upgrade to have. Obviously, we can grab even more by getting some merciless upgrades, but I think 5,000 is probably, without having to spend too many upgrades into merciless, a really good place to end. As you can see, the damage just isn't there for anything else. But as you can also see, we don't have our ascension up till now. That was bad because we had nowhere to run. The fight takes so long that we actually got one of our ascensions up. He's after our demonic blessing. They do have taunt, as you can see. And we might actually get a second one up. It's going to be interesting to see what actually dealt the most damage at the end over here. But as soon as you get 2 of them, our damage actually became quite relevantly different. So as soon as we got that additional damage, it was 36 additional damage as well as 30% critical damage. There was a noticeable difference in the upgrades. If you wanted to take this further from here, I would grab the multicast. When you have a chance, when you multicast, you have a chance to gain finesse. We already got quite a lot of multicast chance on our skills themselves. So that's actually really, really good. We're sitting on 400% here, 300%, 380, and 400. So going to get quite a lot of finesse from that. And yeah, quite fun. So Madness Shot doing 5.3 trillion. And then Twin Impact and Spread Shot also doing quite a lot of damage over there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.